So
this is still like a stretch. This is like a stretch.
Well, if you turn it around so it's spinning, you leave the door, it might clack it. Which is still a reach, but I could see it happening.
This is like a reach, dude. It's like so much like you'd have to be extremely lucky to like have that turn, get out the door, and have it lock.
Yeah.
Was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is that they hung it knowing exactly where it would be so they could angle it perfectly kind of thing, like where it's just every time you turn it, slamming into that lock so you have no leeway.
I guess, but whoever the murderer is, they went through a lot of trouble to hang up every single effigy, get the sword in there, make sure it spins the right way.
Unwind, and the effigy would
We're taking some time.
Yeah, you gotta commit murder goodly around here, otherwise you die.
I guess, man, but this is still a stretch.
More convoluted, the better.
And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place? The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope, and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us.
What?
Keep your manga in your pants.
Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime. Are you saying it's the student council's fault? I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi! Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
I didn't murder anybody. I'm sorry.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
Hey, fuck you, Shuichi. All you had to do is let him do his plan. We would have had us figured out.
Go sit in the corner and play with yourself.
Oh, you go suck a dick in the corner, you fucking whore.
Okay, I'll start right now.
All right. So, who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Oh, it was me.
I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Jesus.
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it.
We're just gonna ignore that, okay.
Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Jesus Christ! Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
Sweetie, slap her.
Not the not the expression I was expecting. I was
No, it really was not.
oh boy.
Should we talk about now?
There you go, Gato.
He's like, listen, I don't know what cum or dumpster is. Can we just
More worried about two dead friends.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab.
I like how everybody just fucking ignores them. It's great.
They should
Only
have.
one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Sumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council.
Weren't you just the one that said, we should believe her? Like 30 seconds ago, believe her! Believe her! Fuck it, let's not believe her anymore.
Pure chaos.
That contradicts what you said earlier.
Oh, there
which
you
I
go.
can prove using my recording function.
Oh my Kibo, you need to go, man. Your recording function is fucking stupid.
Ultimate snitch. Don't make
you're
yourself
fucking
pass
snitch.
out, honey. I'll use too much energy.
Then second thought makes you pass
Just a
out.
waste of time. Me? A suspect? I'd never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next?
This is the most emotion I've ever seen her use.
I know, right?
I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Okay.
Rangers!
I love it.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
You're hoping. I know you're hoping.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we do to get ourselves off the suspect list?
Mm.
Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
I love Kokichi. He's just having fun with it.
Sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Oh,
Yes,
Gonta.
It is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Well, it's kind of funny because Kokichi's probably the smartest one of all these guys right now.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Oh, I thought I did something. I guess she just interrupted.
Huh?
She has a valid point. They already killed one person. Why did another person have to die?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie's?
No.
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
Hell yeah, it
Just
is.
that to waste our time.
It's not meaningless!
Shut up. Put your panties in. I'm sorry. I like Himiko. I can't be mean to her.
Which panties and what? What are you gonna say?
I don't even know what I was gonna say. To be honest,
She gotta,
I can't be mean to Himiko. I like Himiko.
she gotta put him somewhere, I guess. Keep your panties on, honey. You're okay. Let's talk.
Ugh.
Himiko.
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko.
But when she was alive, you treated Tenko like she was nothing but a nuisance.
She didn't feel the vibes of a Tua.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on.
I mean,
really?
he has a point. He has a point. I'm not. She was a bit of a bitch towards Tenko, but now she's dead. Now you care.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but that happens a lot.
I'm not saying I would word it like Kokichi is right now.
Yeah.
But he has a point.
Yeah, there's a character who dies later, and everybody always comments that Soichi's just like doesn't really even mourn the character. It's just kind of like a whatever. It's like, okay, cool.
Kokichi, enough!
No, it's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko, worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her.
Could you imagine if Russell was voicing this right now and how much no emotion he'd give this?
I know, right?
It's too late now. I can't complain to her
Yes.
or thank her.
Like, I would not have any feelings towards her whatsoever if Russell was reading this. I would just be like, man, she's really bland about this murder.
Too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah. Face her death?
Himiko,
Yeah, bring out the
I
body.
understand what you're going through.
Jeez.
Throws her right in the middle of the floor. Oh.
Now face it.
So I'm going to help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not going to let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito! Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
Hmm.
The name of the curse is Death Curse!
Immediately into the next trial. Who did it?
Like,
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
I cast my curse. She walks over and stabs him right in the kidney.
Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run. I won't.
Tenko was our friend.
Sorry, I didn't let him finish.
I want to know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
Violent
No,
stab.
even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now.
I'm
Not ever.
surprised no one, like, has even once said, like, well, it could be the same murder and this might lead into something. Like, they're just kind of just, like, letting it happen. Like, oh, there's definitely two murders.
Yeah, they definitely assume that.
Like, I don't know why they don't just, like, no one speaks up. Even Shuichi could say, plus, you never know, it could be the same murderer. We don't know what happened. We gotta investigate everything. Because that's what a true detective would do. We gotta investigate everything.
Exactly.
Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just
I
to
thought they said
survive
Tenko's
this
teeth.
trial,
Mm-hmm.
so we can keep going and live on.
Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
That's your problem now, child.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. It seems like this time the only ones really not talking are Sumigi and Kibu. Like, they always
Yeah,
pick
they
like a
look
certain
very-
characters. But what was an abrupt change of topic? Was that intentional?
So, what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrouch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Ten crotch.
Tancrouch?
The people who attended the seance. The people who attended the seance were Kyu, Suichi, Himiko, and Kokichi, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the very bottom one, I think.
Kuriko, Himiko.
No, because Kibo
yeah,
wasn't
Kibo got
there. They kicked
dissed.
him out.
I
Told
got very
no.
confused.
Yeah, we kicked him out so we could go in, then he got upset about it, even
I
though they
didn't see
forced
Kibo's
him.
name down there until you said it.
Yeah.
Guys, it
Those
was me.
4 are the culprits.
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Aw.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the 4 is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes?
There was no stabbing the person in the cage. That was not a step.
If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but
He did gush the extreme details all over everybody because he was so excited to perform this.
Why the
In
fuck
addition,
did it work?
The seance wasn't entirely in my control.
Look at-
either.
If I can't see it now, but fucking her pictures has the halo on it.
Oh, he got little wings and a halo.
Little wings and
Oh,
halo.
that's cute.
I was not.
Yeah,
the
she
one
don't
who
deserve
selected
it,
the
but
room before
it's
me.
whatever.
It was Himiko.
However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? Middle room. The middle room's always the best for stuff like this.
How often are you doing stuff like this?
Very well. They shall begin the preparations at once.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
A point of entry from outside, he must be referring to the hole, which I think was this.
Holy moly.
Are you there? I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone's
Isn't there
staring at
like
me.
a-
today.
Isn't there like the wood floor there? Isn't like
Yeah, there should be like a hole in the floor.
I'm putting on my screen like you can see it.
I know.
Isn't
right?
there a hole like down like right there-ish? Or is that just a shadow?
I got your shadow.
Oh.
Up.
Is it there?
Is it there?
No, not this time, Sweetie. Go a little bit over.
Because I could have swore they said about the
Well, it was
wall.
a board on the floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what
maybe.
I thought it was that, but
No, not that one. There's a board near that wall, wasn't there? Because that's where we went down at.
Damn it!
Everybody's taking my hearts away.
Yeah, like in the back, up by the tip of the cage. Isn't by the floorboards there? Because like it kind of like highlights
Maybe,
over things when you
yeah.
go over them.
There!
There! It took me a couple times, but I got it. I do.
Is this right? Kyo, seriously, is this right? Did I do it?
I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know where it was.
Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me.
Oh boy,
Oh,
he's appearing.
See it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
The bloody
Can you just tell
boy?
us? Do you not have to do this? Just tell us.
No, we gotta make
Oh, we
everybody
gotta.
talk to each other.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
Uh-huh.
But it was pitch black during the seance.
They're gonna use this light
How
thing
could
now.
we even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
You mean
I
Kendall?
mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Oh.
Huh?
Now, hold on a second.
So I gotta say it before he says it, I guess.
Function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said, hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
No.
I mean, to be honest, I would agree. I'd be like, Kyo, you're right.
It's true that a little light you can move around under the floor, but is that possible?
The culprits.
Sneak in during the seance. By crawling under the floor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Since they said Kibo's flashlight, I don't know if Kibo's flashlight would be the right answer.
The light.
Well, I guess that would be me disagreeing with him because it was orange, so...
Yeah, can you...
I was
one of his statements blue, maybe? Stop taking my hearts away, my dude.
None of his statements is blue. The only one that was blue made no sense, but we can check again.
See if they were under the floor.
It wasn't dark.
Under the floor.
You, our villain had
Maybe-
a light.
Was it?
Light?
I don't
You
think
mean
it was.
candle?
It sounds like
Flashlight
candle, that's
function. No, damn it.
what he says. No, flashlight.
I'm starting to, like, agree with him. Yes, not a candle, but it's like, I would take that as a yes, but whatever. There's no evidence to support candles.
I don't know if it's the flashlight thing.
The culprit.
What other choices do we have?
Hole in the corner, caged child, loose floorboard, Kibo's flashlight.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
You
see, our villain had a light.
Yes.
Kibo's flashlight function. Huh?
That's not
hold
even
on a
lit.
second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said, hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
It might be the loose floorboard, because it might be doing what I was telling you that made no sense, is you would see the light. If he had that light on, you'd see the light. If they moved the floorboard, you probably would have saw the light.
That would make sense. Okay, let's try that then.
Crawling under the floor.
Crawling under the floor.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light. Light? You mean candle? I mean Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second. Kibo could
Yeah,
use
it's
that
probably
function
gonna.
to get under the floor.
And sneak into the empty room during the seance.
Was that the one I needed to press?
I said, hold on
Maybe.
a second.
He used his robot functions to commit
I think that's the last one.
Yeah.
I overshot it.
In.
Crawling under the floor. Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see,
You made it dark on the floor.
light? You mean candle? I mean Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second. Kibo could have used that function to get
Under the floor. No. Sure.
Unless it's the hole. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hole, loose the...
Sure, it's cramped under the floor, but there's enough room for one person to move around, especially if they had Kibo's flashlight.
I was wrong.
I was wrong!
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
Hole in the corner, maybe. Yeah, because Himiko had a hole next door, didn't she?
because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Go around for the 18th time.
Light? You mean candle? I mean Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second. Kibo could have used that
function to get
under the floor.
Motherfucker!
You might need to look at a walkthrough with it.
Yeah, I might need a. I'm gonna die if I keep on doing this. We're about to D.
You see,
Oh, that deep voice for Rio. Oh, villain had a light.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor.
I'm assuming Mikey can still hear. Yeah.
I can hear. What was the answer?
There was a hole in the corner of the room.
A hole in the corner. Our villain had a light. There was a hole in the corner of the room where Himiko was. I almost said Andrew, not Andrew. There we go.
Russell, I got an ice cream.
It would have
I bet you did.
and we would have seen it.
It's the best kind.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Robots don't have night
I
vision.
thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot.
Oh well, stop being a
My
robot.
status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
Didn't he say before he's like a 60-year-old man?
Yeah.
All right. You made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
He just flashes.
Just fucking flashbanged him.
Too bright.
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from underfloor.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
No.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Boy, that sounds really
Yeah.
familiar too.
I was gonna say they're really repeating some. Right.
Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage. That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
This is the point of no return. Tenko, after this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over.
Last words.
Oh, is that when she died right there then?
Yes. She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
Yeah, she just shut up after that because Kyo asked her to. And that was the last thing she ever said.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
It impossible.
Well, that's true.
No, I'll say, jeez, Mikey. Over there flashbanging us.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads. Huh?
Not like your life's on the line too, honey.
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think!
I'm proposing you guys make another theory.
If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Jeez.
Thanks.